Hello, back again. Got an update on the engine for my 92 Coupe. I wasn't sure what it was. If it was I was really worried it was an 86, which has no valve reliefs in the pistons, which means you can't modify it with bigger cam, 1.7 rockers, stuff like that. But my friend came over, John Mize came over, and basically talked me into taking the heads off. I was back and forth on taking the heads off or not. So my friend came over and talked me into tearing the heads off, and this is what we found. So it's got valve reliefs, so it's not an 86. Earlier than 86 is okay. Later than 86 is okay. 86 was a weird year where they tried something different with the cylinder heads, and with that they also tried something different with the pistons, and the pistons were flat, completely flat, no valve reliefs at all. And these, have 4 valve reliefs, so that's good to see. With the front cover being what it was, with this little appendage for a mechanical and a few other things, I was worried. It had the right intake and upper and lower intake. It had the correct valve covers for 80, 87 and up, but I was just that's the way my luck goes. But sure enough, it's an 87. It's not pretty. Lots of carbon. Looked like a stuck valve. I don't know if that happened from sitting or if that was a problem, but it's really gooky in this one here. Oh yeah, it's number 2, because the actual, if you look at it, this is where the valve was sticking and was bumping on that. I don't think it did it, it was me turning it over, so it probably just pushed that valve up. I've hammered the valve in and hammered it back down. It's just sticky. So here goes the snowball effect. I've got a set of GT40P heads and a GT40P intake waiting in the wings for me to buy and bring home. So they might find their way on here. They're nothing special, but this wasn't going to be anything special. It wasn't even going to be GT40P heads. I've got some E7s, but I don't have any clue what they are. They got to be better than this with a stuck valve, and I have no desire to rebuild or clean these heads to try to figure out what's wrong with that. So it's either going to be the P heads or E7s that I don't know anything about. I do have a line. I've got a guy I do have a guy wanting to buy fiberglass fenders and a hood for a 64 Falcon that I have, and he's got a set of Pro Comp Chinese heads. I think we could probably trade, even up. I'm still back and forth on that. I don't really need them. I think they'd probably just, in the long run, cost me more money. They're not going to wake this engine up. Not really. Because, again, it's going to have a stock intake on it. Stock injectors, stock mass air. So really going down that rabbit hole would just cost me a whole lot more money and change the whole build. So I'm shying away from that, thinking about grabbing the cash and using it towards putting this engine back together. Head gaskets, gasket set, timing chain set, because I don't know if I've shown you before, but it's done. It's a stock Ford one. Wobbly. This is the other thing that threw me off. This shouldn't have an eccentric on it. That's for the fuel pump. That's to drive the fuel pump. This is an 87. It should not have a fuel pump. It never even thought about having a mechanical fuel pump. So I don't know. That's what threw me. That's why I was really worried about what it was. Even though an 86 should be fuel injected too, I just figured it's so close to 85, maybe they threw it on there. But I'm not sure about the story behind that. It doesn't look like it's been messed with. I mean, you can't really tell, and it's a long time between when it was built originally and what it is now. But I don't understand throwing a eccentric on there. I don't know. So anyways, yeah, so I'm going to plan on using that money for a pan if I don't have one, gasket set, new timing chain, you know, the odds and ends, it'll all add up. About $500. It would be nice to come in underneath that, but, you know, when it's all said and done, who knows? You know, by the time I get the engine together, put it in there with the transmission and get everything buttoned up, we're probably really close to what it's going to cost me. I need a different clutch. I've got a race clutch that came in that car with the 331. There's no need to put that in there. You're going to just have a clutch with a really heavy clutch pedal, and also a lot of clutch chatter. It's not going to disengage and engage well. It's just too much for what you're using it for. So probably a new pressure plate, stock replacement pressure plate, stock replacement clutch, and I've got the original 50-ounce flywheel that should do just fine. So by the time all those parts get bought, shipped here, and everything else that comes up that I didn't expect, we'll probably be right at that $500 mark. But it's not bad for, you know, a hood and fenders for a car I don't even own anymore. So anyways, just an update. Good news, bad news, you know. That's the way it comes and goes. Just wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on. Trying to keep you guys in the know. The truck is needing wiring. I cut the wrong wires for the alternator to the external regulator, and I haven't been able to get back to do a little bit of detective work to find out what needs to be done with that. So, and it's getting cold. Not my favorite thing to be standing out in the cold trying to work on wiring. Needs to be done, but that's where I am with that. So, all right, take care, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I need all those things done. I have 51 subscribers now. I would love to have double that. But thanks, and I'll see you next time. It's come to my attention that I haven't done very many beer reviews after saying I would. So here's one I picked up. Should be a fruity beer, but I've been disappointed with those in the past, being a beery beer, you know, with a fancy name. So, sparkling tropical ale with pineapple, coconut, and apple. So, what's it called? Spark ale. So there's a lot of pineapples and a lot of, a lot of claims to good tasting stuff. So let's give it a try. Let's see what we have here. Well, it tastes like pineapples. Not quite ripe pineapples. Woo! That's got some zing to it. Very, very tart. Not terrible, but it caught me off guard. Not real sweet. Whoo! It is tangy. It gets you at the end. Real bad. Not bad. Believe it or not, it's got a little zing to it for sure, but it's drinkable. It's light. I bet it's not even 4% alcohol. 4.2. So it's light, but man, that tartness might get you. I don't see drinking a whole lot of them. Maybe one, kind of a dessert beer, if you want to call it that. Not heavy. Probably more for summer. I couldn't see drinking a 6-pack of it without having some major heartburn afterwards, but that's me because I'm getting to be an old man. But by the way, this hat, 86 DeCoin Street Machine Nationals. I would have been 5. We were at the Street Machine Nationals a couple years back, and there was a guy who had a stack of these for sale. I think he was selling them for $7 a piece. So my buddy John had to grab 2 of them, and we walked around the rest of the day looking like goofballs with this flat brim super duper trucker hat on. But it was a pretty cool find. I mean, they were brand new from 1986. To survive in that kind of condition for that long is pretty amazing. But they are pretty freaking hideous. So figured I'd dig this one out since I knew it wouldn't get dirty, and it's definitely a conversation starter. So there's the story on that. I'll see you guys later.